Hello, everybody. This is the Hollywood Rabbi with this week's Torah portion wrap up. And this week we study Lech Lecha, which means go for yourself or go to yourself. It's all about Abraham's spiritual journey. Abraham was known as the founder of monotheism, but he actually wasn't the first monotheist. A couple Torah portions back, we were introduced to Adam and Eve. They were the first monotheists. They believed in one God, but 10 generations from Adam and Eve until Noah, people had lost their faith and and then even though God tried to reset creation with the flood, those generations were still not believing in the one God. There's a famous story in the Midrash, in the commentaries, that talk about Abraham, how he came from a family of idol worshippers that believed in many gods. And one day his father, Terach, decided he needed to go on a business trip, and he put Abraham in charge of his idol store. Now, Abraham was a big proponent of intelligent design and the belief in one God. He had a tremendous faith in God, and he just felt that it was wrong to be selling these idols. So anyway, he's looking around at these idols, and it's just irritating him so much that he decides to get a bat and then start smashing them. So he smashes a few of them, and sort of like eating potato chips, you can't just eat one. So you can't just smash one idol. He was real iconoclast, and he decided to pulverize all of the idols in his shop. Well, you could imagine his father Terach's chagrin when he came in and he saw all his merchandise had been liquidated by his son. And he said, "Abraham, what happened here? You were supposed to watch the idol store, and I come back after a few days and everything has been destroyed." So Abraham said, "Would you believe that there was a really large idol? You know, that big idol?" He says, "Well, he got in a fight with another idol, and they started punching each other and hitting each other, and the other ones, it was like a big barroom brawl. Everybody got involved, and before you know it, they all fell off the shelf and got broken." So his father says to Abraham, he says, "Abraham, you expect me to believe that?" He says, these idols, they're made out of plaster. They don't get up and walk around and punch people and do things. So Abraham said, "Exactly, my point exactly. How can you believe in an idol that people have created? How could that have created the world? They have eyes but cannot see. They have lips but cannot speak. They have ears but cannot hear." He says, how could you believe that these idols created the world?" So word got out. There was a king of Orkastim, that's in Babylon, where Abraham was from, and he found out that somebody had told on Abraham that he destroyed these idols, and he made him, as a punishment, walk through a fiery furnace. And he came out unscathed, not even an eyebrow singed. I mean, it was quite a miracle, so he decided to let him go. And at that point, God said, "Lech Lecha mi'artzecha," leave your father's house and go to the land of Canaan, go to the promised land. Abraham was known for two things. One of them was his kindness. He was so kind to strangers. He would always invite people over, and he would make them feel comfortable at his home, and he would feed them to their heart's content. And he was really, really good at welcoming guests and showing kindness to other people. Years ago, I used to work as an elementary school teacher in a LA Unified Public School in Watts. And one of the books we were reading was called Miracle at Midnight. it was all about World War II. It was about how the king of Sweden helped to rescue Jewish people that were being persecuted by the Nazis. And we kept talking about Jewish people and Jews. And then one little girl, I remember, I'll never forget, she raised her hand and she said, "Teacher," she said, "what is a jewel?" She never even heard of Jewish people. She said, "What is a jewel?" And I said, "You mean a Jewish person?" She said, yeah, what is a Jewish person? So it just kind of got me by surprise. I mean, how can I tell her in one sentence what a Jewish person is? So I told her, they're basically people with a different religion than you. That's why they were being persecuted by the Nazis. So she said, really, what do they believe in their religion? I said, well, Judaism is based on the teachings of Abraham, and it's all about intense belief in one God. She said, well, she started thinking about it. She said, I believe in one God, so I must be Jewish. Whew. I said, wow, this little girl is very, very intelligent, because she, even at a young age, noticed that there are more similarities between Jewish people and other religions than there are differences. Intense belief in one God. And that is part of Abraham's legacy. He wasn't like the people from the Tower of Babel that wanted to make an edifice to themselves. He constantly wanted to give credit to God and show his faith. And that was the legacy that he left behind. And he formed a covenant with God. And he said that even though he and his wife were childless, God told him that his descendants will be as many as the stars in the sky. And if you think about it, Abraham is really the father of many major religions. And there are billions of people who believe in one God. The covenant was really true. We are going to pick up more about the story of Abraham in next week's Torah portion, so you can learn more about how inspiring Abraham was and how he changed the world with his thinking and his teaching. I really want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for all your beautiful comments that you've left for me. I'm deeply inspired and touched by all of you, and I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, a peaceful Shabbat, a wonderful weekend, and a blessed day. Thank you so much for watching.